Hey there, fitness enthusiasts. Welcome back to our 10-day weight loss journey brought to you by the PHI Fitness team. Today, we're diving into the topic of water, and we've got 10 benefits of water to share with you. First and foremost, water is essential for our body's overall health. It helps to regulate body temperature, aids in digestion, and even helps to boost our immune system.
And I always say to people, how much water do you drink? And these are some of the answers. I don't like water. If I drink water, my feet swell. If I drink water, I'm going to the bathroom all day. Those last two answers tell me that the water's not getting inside the cell. So how do we get the water inside?
Water is a natural appetite suppressant. By staying hydrated, you're less likely to feel hungry and overeat.
What if you were to tell
water helps
people living in first world
out
countries,
toxins
Western
from our body,
civilization,
which is
what are 3 health secrets, things they could do or stop doing that would lengthen their lives? I'd like to take the best, the cream of your knowledge and experience. What would that be?
Now, Doug, you've asked me a very hard question. Bring it down to 3. Bring it down to 3. I think number 1 would have to be water.
Oh, great.
Because we're 75% water from the neck down, 85% from the neck up, and so many people today are drinking tea, they're drinking coffee, they're having sodas, they're having all sorts of things. Maybe they're really healthy and it's just juice, but nothing does what water does. To wash your body with juice, to wash your body with coffee is not going to be very clean, and it's the same with the inside of the body. See, I believe that God created our body to heal. It's a self-healing organism, but it's also a self-cleansing organism. And you would never go into an old house and just start painting the old dirty walls. You cleanse it first. And so we have a cleaning system in the body, and it needs water. And it needs approximately 8 glasses a day, 8 glasses of 8 ounces. I never used to drink water. And you know, it says in Revelation chapter 12, it says, verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Here's my testimony on water. I never used to drink water, and yet I was pregnant or breastfeeding non-stop for 14 years. But I used to get headaches all the time. If I traveled, I didn't like traveling, just in the car, short periods, headache, terrible sinus. And then I discovered you got to drink water. I am an avid reader. In fact, I average about a book a week. I love reading. I devour them. And I read the book, One of the Body's Many Cries for Water by Dr. Batman Geheldage. His other title is He's Not Sick, He's Thirsty. The other title is Don't Treat Thirst with Medications. I began to drink. I could never drink a glass of water at once, but I thought, I don't have to drink a whole glass. I can just drink a few mouthfuls. And then over the day, I'd do that. But I had to have my mind on it because I'd forget. And it wasn't long before I noticed that every time we travelled in the car, I didn't get a headache. And that's when I discovered that our brain cells shrink in dehydration. You see, the brain's a hydroelectric system. No hydro, no electricity. And I started to think a little bit clearer. I started to sleep better. I started to digest better. A whole lot of things happened, that's my testimony, because I started to drink more water. But also, I never got sinus anymore. So I just cleaned out my system. So I was excited about just drinking more water.
Most people, if I'm not mistaken, they don't drink until they're thirsty, but at that time they're dehydrated.
That's right. It's one of the last signs. It's actually a sign of a crisis. And that's why Dr. B, we'll call him Dr. B, that's why he says he's not sick, he's thirsty. Because he shows one of the first signs of dehydration can be stomach pain. Because your stomach hasn't got enough water to protect the stomach lining. It can be arthritis because the fluid in our joints is 99% water. In fact, 75% of our upper body weight is held in our lower back by water. It could be lower back pain. It could be so many things. So you're absolutely right. When thirst comes, it's actually a crisis.
So I do some health talks, not as extensive as you, and every cell in our body is made of water, and the only thing that cleans our cells is the blood And the only thing that cleans the blood is the water in through the kidneys.
That's
And
right.
so the way you cleanse every cell in your body ultimately is you have to drink enough water.
That's right.
Very good.
That's right.
And drink more in the morning, because if you drink too much at night, you may not sleep through the night.
You may have to get up a few times.
Yeah. What would be number 2?
Number 2 would have to be movement.
Exercise.
Water aids. Indigestion and prevents constipation. Aims to boost your mood and reduce stress levels. Energy booster. By staying hydrated, you'll have more energy to tackle your workout routine. 5th, water helps to reduce the risk of kidney stones and other kidney-related issues. Water is a natural fat burner. By drinking enough water, your body can burn fat more efficiently. And lastly, water helps to improve your overall health, which is crucial for weight loss. Now, let's wrap up today's episode with some gem of wisdom from the renowned fitness expert, Barbara O'Neill. Remember, water is the key to weight loss.
We don't have a reserve tank on the back. The only water that goes into the body is the water that we drink. Do we really need to drink 8 glasses of water a day? Well, the fact is, every day we lose a lot of water. We urinate out approximately 1.5 litres. Out of
Time for digestion, and then the stomach loves a rest of 1 hour. So we should be leaving, ideally, 5, maybe 6 hours between meals. That gives lots of times to drink water. We should stop drinking about half an hour before the meal and resume maybe an hour and a half after the meal. So you've got lots of time to drink your water. So when our brain cells, if 1 trillion brain cells are all giving off 36 units of energy, whoa.
Well, God made our bodies for activity.
He did.
And if they're not active, then nothing really works right.
No, it's true, and I think it's a pity that that people stop being so active in the latter years of life. I think they actually need that even more. And I've come to the conclusion that people age because they stop moving and they stop jumping. And a wonderful way to jump is on that little rebounder, the little mini trampoline.
Right. Keeps all your joints.
That's true,
more fluid
and because you've got this cushioning effect, it's great on your joints, and also on your lymphatic system, which is the system in the body that sweeps away waste from the tissues. It's like our body's vacuum cleaner.
I know I sometimes hear people say, well, I haven't got time to exercise, and a doctor said once, then you don't have time to lengthen your life. Well, you're going to have less life to lengthen if you don't take time. So you really got to do that, because you're buying time when you take the time to exercise.
That's true. It's the best insurance policy that you can make. And in the little book, Counsels on Health, I read a statement in there. She said, in a short time, you will so realize the benefits of pure air and exercise, you would not live without these blessings.
Yeah.
And I memorized that because I have found that to be true.
Absolutely. All right. Point number 3.
Point number 3. You know, I read a book by Doug McGuff, and it's called Body by Science, and he takes you inside the cell and shows you exactly what's happening in exercise. And he was asked the question, so what's the most important, diet or exercise? He said, food. He said, because you can't exercise your way out of a bad diet. Now, I believe with the statement you said by the good doctor before, even when you're active, you can get away with a not so good diet. But the day does come. The day does come. And I know in Australia there's a lot of ladies trying to lose weight, and they go to the gym and they're working out on the gym, and on the corner they've got a chocolate bar, their reward. That's not a reward, it's punishment.
Yeah.
That's punishment. That when you move the body, it certainly works better, but the fuel that you put in it. And I love these little pictures you've got in the background of some beautiful fuel. And they have shown, the research shows, that pleasing to the eye actually helps with digestion. And how pleasing is that picture to the eye? The purple grapes, the red tomatoes. And God he must have had fun making all of these fruits and vegetables. And what also is shown in the gut flora is that these fruits and vegetables contain fiber. And you can have 10 different types of apples, 10 different types of fiber. And what they're discovering today is every different type of fiber feeds a different microorganism in the gastrointestinal tract. And Hippocrates said all disease begins in the gut. And a lot of gut isn't working today because of lack of the microorganisms in the gut. We've got 10 times more microorganisms in the body than cells, and we've got 10 times more microorganisms in the gut than anywhere else in the body. And the beauty of this fiber and all the different types of fiber, they feed all the different types of microorganisms. So fuel is important, and we don't need to wonder the best fuel. We can go to the Garden of Eden because you can't improve on God. And God said in Genesis 1:29, "Behold, I've given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in the which of the trees of fruit bearing seed. To you it shall be for meat." Now, when the Bible talks about the meat of animals, it's called flesh. So this meat, and I'm sure you recognize that, is the main fuel of the body.
Like the meat of a nut, it means food.
Yes, yes. And as a nutritionist who has studied nutrition for many years, the three essential food groups are fiber, protein, and fat. So fiber, all your plant foods are high in fiber, and as we just looked at, that fiber is necessary to feed our microorganisms, and we should have a whole glass at once. I think I mentioned earlier, I drink half a glass as soon as I get up. I go to the bathroom, I drink another half glass. Then I get dressed and have another half glass. But when I start every glass, I have that little bit of salt. So you spread the water over the day. And many people have said to me, "Thank you so much, that has made a big difference."